Hey guys, it's Wendy here with Wendy's Plans, and today we're going to do a year in review. I kind of like doing these because for myself, I can go back and look at them. I did it last year, I am doing it this year, and I think I did it a couple of other times. But this year I have made a list, and this is 15 things that, in no particular order, um, that has happened this year. And I'm not going to say they're all good, and I'm not going to say that they're bad. It's just things that have happened this year. And I guess the first one we need to talk about is the decision that I made. Guys, I have my Christmas coffee cup. I'm so excited. And yes, it's blue. I know my whole house is blue. And guess what? When you're seeing this, you know my Christmas decorations are blue. But anyway, I've never had a Christmas cup before, so I'm really excited. Okay, so the first thing was the decision to come off the road and get an apartment. That was such a big decision for me, and there were multiple factors that went into making this decision. And the one of the biggest decisions for me, or that helped me make this decision, was that my mom was sick. She had Alzheimer's, and I knew she was at the last stages, and I wanted to be here for her. And I felt like if I went out traveling again, I was really concerned that if I left, that I would be turning around coming right back, because I felt like I needed to be here. So that was a big deciding factor for me. Um, Another thing was that I had never completely healed from my hip replacement. And I was struggling, guys. That I would pack up my car, and then I would drive for hours at a time. And it just felt like my back, and it wasn't really my back, it was into my hip, would ache for days after I packed up my car and then the drive, and then I would unpack my car. And then it would take me a good week when I got to my next location before that pain was easing off. And so then I would have 2 really good weeks. And then the third week, I would be packing up, getting all that stuff in my car, and heading for the next place, because I'd only be somewhere for 4 weeks. And it took a little bit for me to get everything packed up. So I really wasn't getting a lot of quality time where I was at. And then there would be times during the middle of the month that I would hurt, and it would be because I was trying to do so much in those weeks. I feel like I'm in a better place now. I have noticed that I'm not having the aches and pains, and I think it's twofold. Is that I'm being a lot easier on my body, as far as I'm not carrying stuff, I'm not loading stuff in my car. And so that makes it a little easier on my body. And I've also given my body a chance to rest and stay in one location long enough to finish out the healing process. Now, I don't know if I have shared this video yet or not, um, or if I really am. I was with my sister-in-law in Burlington, and we went to the park, and they had a train and they had a hobby horse, and or a carousel. And me and her both rode both of them, and I thought, wow, I couldn't have done this a year ago. Number one, I could not have gotten up on the hobby horse. And so then I did hopscotch, guys. I did hopscotch, and it didn't hurt. So I was really sore that night because, you know, I don't normally go around doing hopscotch. But it was fun. We had a great, just a fun, almost like a childhood weekend, and it was a lot of fun. So that was one of the reasons was the aches and pains that I had had. And so I think I am moving out of that. I also knew, guys, I don't talk politics and I'm not going to talk politics on this channel. But there was so much in the news that it scared me. And I didn't want to be traveling and getting caught up in some of the stuff that's going on. And so that's why I made my decisions. Those three things were the biggest reasons for me to stay. Um, Second thing that happened was my mom passed. And guys, to really grasp why this was such a big deciding factor for me, I talked with my son in January and I said, I think this is what I'm going to do. He has always supported me in every decision that I have made. He helped me get this YouTube channel up and running because honestly, guys, it wouldn't be running now if it was left up to me to figure out how to do all this stuff. So he helped me get all of this stuff up and running and to start doing my YouTube channel. Um, and so he has supported me on every crazy thing that I've wanted to do. And so I sit down and I had a conversation with him about transitioning back to being in an apartment. Now, at the time, I was thinking it would be for maybe a year, and that after this lease ran out, I would probably go back on the road. I have rethought that scenario. Um, and so in January, the end of January, he went with me and we looked at apartments. And it's amazing because we both picked the apartment that I'm in. Um, I was really, really leaning toward another apartment. And I thought, oh, that'll be perfect for me. It's just the right size. It's just going to be perfect. And I said, but let's go look at this other one. And we both really liked the first apartment. And then we came here. I didn't look at any other apartments after I looked at the apartment I'm in. When we came in before we left, we knew, both of us, that this would be the place for me. And that took place January 20th, in the 27, 28, 29, that area. And I signed my lease, and I knew I would be moving in on the 20th of February. And my mom passed February 16th. So I knew, just for that reason only, I knew I had made the right decision to stay home because I was her power of attorney. I was her everything, her healthcare power of attorney, her power of attorney, her executor of her will. Everything was for me to do. So that was a very hard thing for me, right to start off the first of the year. In that same time period, guys, I think I went in time period order in my list, but in that same time frame, my kids. Okay, so I have one child, Christopher, and his girlfriend is Emma. I call them my kids because I only have one child, but they're my kids. And they were going to Japan for 9 days, I think. And so I told him, I said, well, that's great. I can come and use your apartment and cat sit instead of them trying to get somebody to come over. And they were struggling to get somebody to be there for 9 days. And I was like, that's perfect for me. I will come, I will cat sit. I love their cat. And I said, and most especially, you will be gone past the 20th, and I can use your apartment for stuff to be shipped to if I need to, and it'll give me a place to stay until my furniture gets here. So that just made it perfect for me to transition back into my home. Now, this all took place, them going to Japan. They flew out the night before my mom passed. We did not know that um, things were going to happen the way they did. They flew out. I got the phone call to get to the facility, and I did. Um, so they were in the air and they were in Japan. So it made it easier for me because I was there with their cat. So I had somebody with me, kind of. I mean, if you're a cat person, you understand. And I was really busy taking care of things. And so I held everything until they could get back from Japan. And I knew it would be after the 20th. I want to say they flew home on, God, I don't know. I don't know. Um, like the 23rd, maybe 24th, they were flying home. And I didn't change any of that. Um, and we just held everything until they got back. So it was a blessing for them to have me here to be able to cat sit for them, but it also gave me the opportunity to have a place to stay while I was trying to move in to my apartment. Um, so one of the biggest things that had to happen when I moved in, so this is the fourth thing. I'd been traveling for a little over a year, and when I left to go traveling, I got rid of everything, guys. I only had what would fit in my car. I didn't put things in storage. I literally had 5 boxes. I used to say 3, but I actually had 5 boxes of stuff in my sister in law's closet. That was it. And that mostly consisted of my desktop computer, um, some photos that I had taken that I had hanging on the wall that had blown up on canvases, a few things of my office supplies, stuff that I just couldn't part with, like my journals and my covers for my traveler's notebooks, those kind of things. And then I had some mementos from some of my travel, like to um, Iceland and Ireland to be specific, that I didn't really want to get rid of. So it was things like that. I mean, if you can imagine, not large boxes, they were like the medium packing boxes. That's all I had and what was in my car. And so I had to order all new furniture, guys. Now, financially, not good. Um, Emotionally, it was good because I got to pick out all new furniture. Everything was new to me. Now, saying that, not everything is new. I did do some thrift finds and stuff like that. But when I say I had to buy everything, pots and pans, glasses, silverware, um, everything, guys. I didn't have anything. So it was fun in the sense that I got to pick out all new furniture, everything that I wanted, and I didn't have to consult with anybody. I didn't have to consult with my husband, and I didn't have to consult with my child. I just ordered. I ordered what I wanted, and that was a lot of fun. Um, the other thing that has happened this year is I have gotten out and checked out shops in my area that I had never, some of them I had been to, and some that were new. And I had been to occasions just right here in Wilmington a couple of times, and I really liked that store. Well, while I was gone, they had increased their stock. They had um, changed the interior up some. So it was a good experience to go back and see how they had grown. And I also checked out a store in Chapel Hill, which is a little over 2 hours from here. It's not a bad drive, it's straight down the interstate. And it's called Crazy Allen's Emporium. And guys, it's a stationary heaven there. It's just amazing. So I like it that I'm within driving distance to that. And this last time I went to Burlington, I stopped there on my way because I have to go past Chapel Hill to get to my sister-in-law's. So it's a good shop to go to. There have been other shops that I have checked out. I'm here locally, some local shops. So I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying finding new places that I didn't know about when I lived here. Um, I have spent time with my friend Renee. Um, as you all know, Renee has been my backbone for a couple years, and she's really been there for me. I've tried to be there for her, and we are just such good friends now. We may not talk for a month, and then we catch up um, because she now lives a little bit further away from me. But I did get to go visit her, and we were at the beach. It was such a great time. It wasn't just me, it was me, her, our neighbors, that two of our neighbors from that were below me. We were all hollering distance from each other. We were in the same building, but in, different apartments. And it was so nice to be able to go spend a weekend with her. And we got out and shopped. Guys, we just did a lot of things. And so that has been really nice being here and having my friends close. Another big event was my sister got married. My sister from Michigan got married in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. She's from Michigan and with me in North Carolina. It was closer for me to drive. Um, so that was very nice. We had a lovely time. It was a wonderful um, ceremony. Everything was just really nice. They put a lot of details in place for that wedding, and it was nice. Um, I went up on Thursday and I didn't come back until Sunday. So I was there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I came back Sunday. The plan originally was to stay till Monday, um, but that changed because the next thing was my niece came home with me. And I thought, well, if we leave on Sunday, that'll give us an extra day here in Wilmington. Now, I loved spending time with my niece. We had a wonderful time. But it's really hard when you're at the beach and it rains every day. I had made sure I had my pool passes so she could go to the pool. Um, we just I had plans of things that we could do, and they kind of all fell through. We had fun. We did drive down to Myrtle Beach. You guys know I really like Myrtle Beach. I've stayed twice for a couple months each time, and I have enjoyed being there. So I did take her back there. We did some things there. On the one day, we had a half a day of sun, and it started raining on us when we came back. But we went there. We went to one of my favorite Mexican restaurants there, and she asked to go because when they had come down last year in January, or actually it was this year in January, they met me in Myrtle Beach. And so I took them there to eat. And she wanted to go back there. So we did that. So that was really nice to have that time with my niece. Now, my niece is 17, and we just really had a good time. Then I took a trip up to Winnipeg, Canada, which is in Manitoba, and I had a blast. I met back up with Daphne and Jan. I went with Daphne and Jan to Italy last year, and this was the first time we had caught up since Jan had bought a house. She was getting everything moved in and doing some remodeling to get it to the way she wanted. And so she hadn't traveled, I hadn't traveled except traveling through the States. And this was the first time we got together. And other than COVID, this is probably the longest we had gone without going somewhere. So it was really nice to fly up. I had 4 days with her, and guys, it was wonderful. We did a lot of things. We went shopping. We went to oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it. It is a beautiful biosphere dome that is planted with all kinds of plants from all over the world. We went to some shopping areas that were wonderful. We just went to a lot of different places and did a lot of different things. I got to have dinner with her kids and their spouses and children and or significant other, and it was just a lovely time. We went to see the movie Downton Abbey. We just did a lot, and that was so much fun, and I needed that. um I also um I'm skipping around now. Going along with Jan is while I was there, we sat down and planned our trip for this coming year. We'll be going in May, and guys, I cannot wait to go. And we will be seeing 4 different countries. We will be seeing parts of the Netherlands, parts of Germany, parts of Switzerland, and then we will end up in France, most specifically Paris. And guys, I can't wait. I have not been to any of those countries, and I think it's going to be a blast. And we are doing a 9-day tour. We added a day at the beginning, so we'll have an extra day um, there, and then we are going to tack on. We've tacked on an extra day um, at the end when we're in Paris, so we will stay an extra day there. So I'm excited about that, and these countries have been on my bucket list for a while, so I'm excited about that. And then my friend Renee wants to go. If y'all remember, when I was traveling, I went to Laurel, Mississippi, and we are planning to do that next year, sometime probably in the fall. But those are the 2 trips that I know that I'm going to take this coming year. Um, One of the things that I have really enjoyed, and I'm going to incorporate these, I broke them down separately, but I'm going to put them all together. So these are 3 different items, but I'm going to incorporate them all together. So this year, I was really excited because I have had the time to spend with Christopher and Emma. It's nice, and you take for granted that you have your loved ones here and you can just pick up the phone and call and say, hey, let's go to dinner, or hey, let's go get coffee. And when I was traveling, that's when I realized how much I missed not having them right there, um, to just pick up the phone and say, hey, let's go get some coffee. And they did meet me when I was in Georgia. They came down, met me in Atlanta. I was in Macon. They drove down to Atlanta. I drove up to Atlanta, and we had a long weekend, and it was fabulous. And so it is nice to be where I can just say, let's go get coffee. And they call me and we do shopping together. It's just been really nice. The other thing is spending time with my Aunt Margie, who her and my mom were like sisters, even though they were married to brothers. And she has had a really hard time with the loss of my mom. And it's nice that I can spend time with her. And you guys know on my plan with me's and stuff, I would visit my Aunt Margie anyway. And so it's been nice to have that time with her this year. The other newest family that I have been spending time with is my dad came from a family of 6 children, and my Uncle Floyd and his wife, Aunt Barbara, are the only ones left. So my Uncle Floyd is the youngest, and he's not in really good health, and neither is my Aunt Barbara. And I have been spending a lot of time with them. Um, they only had one child, and she passed about 3 months after my husband passed. So she's been gone a good amount of time, and so they had nobody. So I am spending time with them, and that has been, I think it's been good for them and for me. Um, the other thing that has been really fun is and expensive is this year I started over completely new with Christmas. So this year I had to get a Christmas tree, I had to get ornaments. I didn't have any Christmas items to sit around the apartment. I didn't get a lot, guys. I did get a tree and the ornaments. I got a little Christmas village. It's really small, it's not that many pieces. I got one nativity and some candles. That's about it, guys. And I have found that I like not having stuff, and I'm trying my best not to fill this apartment up with stuff. So that's all I allowed myself. And yeah, I'm not going to get a lot of stuff. The last thing that I want to leave with is I have had a lot of changes over the last few years. And with those changes, there have been ups and downs. And that's with life. I just want everyone to know that even though my lifetime goal was to get to where I could travel, I did that and I so enjoyed it. I'm going to continue traveling, but I am glad that I am in an apartment. And as of right now, guys, I'm loving being in this apartment. And cross your fingers my lease doesn't go up too much so that I can stay. I don't want to look for another apartment because this apartment is perfect for me. It is perfect size. It is because I'm up on the second floor, it forces me to go up and down the steps, which is also a plus because I need the exercise. Um, it's just very compact and it's perfect for me. It would be perfect for a couple. It would be a perfect for one person, not for a family. But I'm loving it. And it gives me the opportunity to do the things that I still want to do. I can still travel and I can still get out and do things. And I'm loving it, guys. So I just wanted to sit down and do this review and let you know that I'm loving it here. And I'm happy that I have my channel. We have hit, um, we're getting close to, my channel is growing to almost 1,200 subscribers, which is just amazing to me. I am thankful for every one of you that are on this channel, and I'm hoping to bring even more stuff next year. So, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this little catch up. And if you did, leave me a happy faces down below. And um, until next time, guys. Bye bye.